We just met backstage, actually.
Okay, very good, very good. Well,
Can I tell them what you did, by the way?
What I did?
Some of my earliest memories growing up were watching Johnny Carson and Jay as a kid with my grandparents in San Antonio, Texas, and he called them backstage on the phone.
And Grandma's going, who is this?
Yeah, it was just so classy.
Well, that's no good.
He'll probably ask you for the money for the phone call.
We call it collect, actually.
If you get invited to one of our parties, don't go. Now, where are you from? You obviously.
I'm from Spring, Texas, which is about an hour outside Houston.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
Now, at an early age, is this what you want to do? Be an actor?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I had a really active imagination as a kid. I was an outdoor kid, and at about 8, I was watching a daytime talk show, and I realized you needed an agent to procure work.
Right.
So I started cold calling agencies. I looked it up in the yellow pages at 8, and they would laugh at me and say, "Where are your parents?" And you know, when I asked my mom, she said, "Go play outside." Thankfully. And, yeah, so it was an early interest.
Now, your dad was an NFL player, right?
Yes, he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in '73.
Okay.
I believe, yeah.
So, and that's Texas, so you got to play football.
Yeah, it was a very Friday Night Lights-oriented town.
Okay.
Friday night was sort of the, you know, football was the social option.
There's a picture of you. Take a look. There
yeah.
Menacing looking. Wow. Man, too bad that Opie role was filled, huh? You could have had that.
Could have had it.
Yeah, could have done the whole Opie thing.
3 callbacks. No, that was 5th grade. Yeah, I played growing up as well.
So did you play football and do the whole drama thing at the same time?
I did them both. Yeah, I had sort of that Glee-type existence where, you know, I'd play the game and then also do the school play every year. And my teammates would, of course, mock me at every opportunity they had, including when, you know, we had to do the play for all the English classes. And when their English period would come and see the play we were putting on. And I remember there was a play where I had to cry. And I just remember hearing one of my football buddies from about 5 rows back go, "Dude, Bomer's crying." They ribbed me pretty bad about that.
Now, were you a car guy? That's a big part of Texas. You got to go down to Dairy Queen to get your license, do all that.
I probably would have been a lot more of one if my license hadn't been basically revoked by my dad. I pushed my brother's truck down the driveway in neutral in the middle of the night and went out joyriding with some friends. And
before you had your license?
No, I was 16.
Oh, okay.
But I may have accidentally bumped into some trash cans or something like that along the way.
All right, so you got caught?
I did. Yeah, by the time I got home, one of the tires was just basically a piece of rubber flapping and slapping the concrete on every rotation, and my dad was waiting for me at the door in his tidy whities.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot better than what my dad wore growing up. So be happy your dad was wearing underwear.
Wow.
Now, okay, so what? Then you moved to New York to act? Is that where you went first?
Yeah, that's where I went first. So and I did stage, and you know, in between, I would wait tables, and I temped at an agency called Mesner, Viteri, Berger, McNamee, Schmetterer, where I answered the phones. And you had to come in early to learn how to pronounce the names properly.
You had to say that each time?
Mesner, Viteri, Berger, McNamee, Schmetterer.
Wow.
Please hold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about white collar. You play a con artist. Tell people the premise of the show.
I play a con artist whose prison sentence gets shortened in exchange for helping the FBI solve white-collar crimes.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, he's a smooth, suave, sort of hyper-intelligent guy who can talk his way out of any situation.
And how far is that from you? Or are we there?
The polar opposite.
Yeah, really?
Basically.
Can you do that? You look like you could talk your way out of it.
I can't, actually. For example, I was looking to buy a house recently, and I'm only in L.A. for 24 hours at a time, and so I rang the doorbell a couple times. The owners weren't there, and I decided to jump the fence and take things into my own hands, which was a terrible idea, and I'm not endorsing it. Yeah. And, you know, a few steps in, I was actually kind of getting into it. It was a nice lawn. I wasn't peeking in the windows or anything. I was just checking out the lawn. And I hear, "Hey!" And I thought, okay, I can make a run for it, or I can turn and face this man who's incredibly angry, and he had some expletives that I'd never even heard before.
And being from Texas.
And being from Texas, that's saying something. And so he, you know, confronted me, was screaming at me. His wife came out and said, "Oh, we know him," and went back in the house. And I thought, oh, great, she works for the network. I've lost my job. This is over. And he keeps cursing me out for a while, and I'm apologizing profusely. And he says, "Now get off my property. And we love your show."
Wow. You know, have you thought about...
Needless to say, I didn't buy the house.
maybe looking for a house online. Have you thought about
I've
doing
thought
that?
about
I mean,
that,
so
but
you
time
go up
is
to
of the
houses,
essence.
got
You
a
know
for
how
sale sign.
competitive the LA real estate
Yeah.
market is?
I do. You and I should go in together. We get a place together.
Let's do it.
Yeah. How
You
much
down with that?
She's got a stable.
Yeah, you can stay in my stable with Jay.
That could work.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah. Now, did you learn any con man skills? Is it necessary for you to sort of? Do they have like? Do they bring?
I
up
have
one
an
of those-
advisor this season. The first season I was sort of winging it and doing a lot of Wikipedia work on my own.
Right.
But this season I actually have an advisor, so I now know how to pick a
Now,
pocket. I
advisor,
can
is
pick
he
locks.
like an ex-con?
Exactly. Yes.
Was he like a former senator or something like that? Or-
Oh,
So-
something like that.
I mean, this is the
He
real
got busted
deal.
in Europe, actually. Yeah, but he's an amazing man. He's one of the most charming, fun, confident,
Hey, my
funny
wallet's
people
gone.
I've
Yeah,
ever known.
yeah.
Exactly, and then your wallet's gone. But I know how to pick pockets. I can pick locks now. But
Really? So
nothing
what
I
is
plan.
what is the key to picking a pocket? How does that work?
You do it with 2 fingers instead of the thumb, and you distract when you pick.
Okay.
So you bump somebody, then reach around, get it.
Right. Okay.
But you got to know your mark too.
Don't
There's
even
homework
get me
involved.
involved in this, okay? So stupid. Don't even look at me. It's just-
Well, you have to know your mark. All right.
You have to know your
now,
mark.
You film in New York.
I do,
That's
which
one
is
of the-
amazing.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
still pinching myself we get to do it. I'm so thankful.
Right.
Do you pinch yourself with 2 fingers or just?
I do 3 to keep it real. No, it's amazing. And I love the indignant New Yorkers. It's actually my favorite thing. We have
Yeah.
this crazy locations cop whose mission is to arrest anybody who messes with one of our shots. And you know all the New Yorkers are,
Right,
are
they
walking
could-
through the
yeah.
shots, cursing you out in the middle of it because you're shooting in front of their building and they don't care. And but we have a cop who will just run through, just sweaty, just totally wreck the shot and be like, sorry, I'll have to call cut. And then arrest the person who, or, take a side. I don't think they go, to jail.
All right. So now this is a complete season. The first season
That's the
is
season,
just out.
yes.
It's available now. 3 disc set. Hey, good to see
Thanks
you, buddy.
so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Say hi to Grandma and Grandpa, folks.